Apple TV Plus' live-action adaptation of Isaac Asimov's Foundation books immediately installed a very notable change in its first episode, and that alteration just bloomed into an incredibly wholesome moment in Season 3, Episode 3, When a Book Finds You. The Foundation source material tells a sprawling story that would have been almost impossible to directly translate to the small screen. Thankfully, Foundation's writers have found a way for the saga not only to work in live-action, but also for it to become one of the best sci-fi shows on Apple TV+. While the Foundation timeline has remained largely the same in the adaptation, the characters that populate the space opera's universe have been heavily altered, so their new medium can accommodate them. Foundation hasn't been content with simply changing established characters, but has also introduced brand new figures who Isaac Asimov didn't create. While there are some who dislike this approach to adapting the story, I think it has resulted in some of Foundation's best scenes so far. Foundation's genetic dynasty doesn't exist in Isaac Asimov's books. Apple TV Plus hugely changed Cleon from the novels. Cleon I exists in both Isaac Asimov's source material and Apple TV Plus' adaptation of Foundation. However, both iterations of the character are very different. While Cleon 2 goes on to rule Empire in the books, he isn't a clone, and he and his predecessor are only relatively small parts of the larger story. In fact, the entire concept of Foundation's Cleonic dynasty is original to the show. Asimov's Cleon 2 was a character independent of Cleon I, although they were genetically related. In the show, all Cleons after Cleon I are clones of the original version of the Emperor, and 3 of those clones serve at once as one man, albeit at different stages of their respective lives. The Cleonic dynasty emerged from Cleon I, Terrence Mann, and his failure to father an heir to inherit his throne. As such, he rather egotistically put a plan in motion that would essentially make him the eternal leader of Foundation's galactic empire. This addition to Asimov's work fits right in with the source material and has provided some great storylines. The clone emperors bonding in When a Book Finds You is an unexpectedly emotional payoff in Apple TV Plus' Foundation adaptation. The clones' drinking game warmed my heart out of nowhere. The Cleons sharing a drink in Foundation. The clones refer to one another as brothers, and each has a title of dawn, day, or dusk, depending on their age at the time. Despite the implied familial bond, a trilogy of active Cleons are rarely emotionally close. Instead, they're simply raised to rule together and generally encouraged to ignore their own needs. For a long time, this system served Empire well. Unfortunately for the dynasty, the genetic material of Cleon I was tampered with. This caused each successive clone to behave less like the original. By the time of Foundation Season 3, the so-called genetic drift has resulted in notable personality changes among the brothers. Dawn, Cassian Bilton, is controversially working in secret with the Foundation, while Day, Lee Pace, has shed his responsibilities as a leader altogether. Dusk, also Terrence Mann, is especially resistant to ending his reign, which is often a process that clones are expected to take in their stride. The disparate personalities of the clones in Foundation Season 3 create no shortage of friction between them all. So, it's especially heartwarming in When a Book Finds You when the 2 older brothers are shown coming together to each dawn a drinking game. The long pan out as the trio laugh and enjoy each other's company is unexpectedly wholesome. What the Cleons building bridges means for the rest of Foundation Season 3. Unsanctioned collaboration between the Cleons could take Empire by surprise. The Cleons forming a bond of any kind outside their roles as leaders isn't something that generally happens in Foundation. Instead, they tend to keep each other at bay and wait for their turn to rule. If the current 3 come together, their different personalities could combine to effect real change for Empire, for better or worse. For example, while Day is still on the middle throne, he and Dawn could work together to help save Dusk from ascension, which is something Mann's character seems keen to avoid. Any collaboration in official matters would be unexpected, even for Lady Demerzel, Laura Byrne, making upcoming events in Foundation Season 3 even harder to predict.